Welcome to the channel. As you may have noticed, I've been playing Crusader for some time now. That's why I believe that this is the right time to come up to you with the best configuration in my opinion. It turns out that the Crusader is actually a one-man army, properly built. It has the ability to land ginormously heavy hits, making him one of the best class in the game. There are a lot of good things that can be said, but best thing to do is showing everything in practice. So, let's get started. The first thing worth mentioning is the three-layer use of game mechanics. That's why, to achieve the best results, it is necessary to balance them, since each of these elements is a multiplier for the final result. And the Crusader turned out to be perfect for using this type of build. But to understand those mechanics better, let's move on to skills and essences. For primary attack, Sacred Fire enhanced with main hand essence. Not much to explain here. Our attacks simply apply a burning effect to the target. But this is a crucial mechanic for this build. Another essence for primary attack is the No Offhand, which increases our attack speed with each subsequent attack. The next core skill of this build is Holy Banner, along with the head essence. It provides us with another burn effect for our attacks. What's more, this effect works for each member of our party. Such class as the Necromancer, you definitely want to have a Crusader with this banner in your team. Build for Necromancer can be found on the channel. But even if other players' builds are not based on continuous damage, this banner still boosts the basic attack for anyone. If I'm not wrong, and if you have really good stats, the effect that others get is based on them. This makes weaker players much stronger. So this is something you should definitely use. The next skill is Judgment along with the Shoulder's essence. The skill itself does not deal damage, but only imposes a slow effect on nearby enemies, which is quite important because if we have bonuses to damage to enemies which suffer total loss of control, then this skill is Activator. Unfortunately, doesn't work for bosses, so keep that in mind. I mentioned that it doesn't deal damage, but it makes our primary attack to do so. So this new essence synergizes perfectly with this setup. A skill that allows you to land enormously heavy hits is Condemn, along with Armor Essence, which causes Condemn to be assigned to your primary attack. But the most important here is Offhand Essence. This causes each of your primary attacks to trigger the remaining damage from each applied dot. In practice, all previous skills which were based on Ignite, but on top of that it also activates all dot gems and the augments set bonus at once. So it's really hard to find anything stronger. Additionally, to increase damage from Condemn Legs Essence. However, it does not increase the damage from triggered dots, so you might as well use the increased range effect. Up to you. To complete this build, the last skill is Falling Sword, along with the main hand essence, and can be said that there are other options that provide more damage. But even if the falling sword had some trivial damage, I would still use it in this build, because its greatest advantage is a huge range that allows you to control almost everything that is on the screen. So considering the Crusader melee range, this is a great solution, because of that you apply all gem effects, as well as pre-stacking arguments bonus just to a bit later finish off target with one hit of Condemn. But if this doesn't speak to you, there will be an alternative later in the video. When it comes to set items, in my opinion, the pieces of Vithas and Baron are necessary, and for parts of augments for additional dot effect. This solution guarantees us maximum damage from triggered dots. It is worth noting here that if you do not have gems such as Viper, Bile, or Torment, then going into attack speed could be better, especially for gems like Carson or Gloom Cask for pieces of Vithas, and Shaubaz might be alternative. Shaubaz increases damage for another essence set as well, since it works for summons damage. So if you want greater mobility, you can test this solution. In this configuration, we use Draw and Quarter instead of Falling Sword. Unfortunately, we have to give up the long range that the Falling Sword provided us, but it is compensated to some extent. So for an alternative setup, we replace the essence of the main hand. This way we will receive an additional range primary attack. Legs essence for 2 horses, and offhand essence to increase movement speed when using the banner. It is worth noting here that summoned horses count, so we don't need party members to get this bonus. At first glance, the new essence for Draw and Quarter may seem useful due to the attack speed bonus, but it negates our regular primary attack and has internal cooldown for Condemn. That's why I don't prefer being mounted for this type of build. Next thing you should pay attention to is Paragon points. Weaver will be the best solution, but besides it, make sure that damage, armor penetration, and potency are maxed out. Each of these stats will increase the final damage you achieve with this build. When it comes to legendary gems, then there are some quite decent 1-star options. Blessed Pebble to increase beneficial durations, great choice for Crusader. Misery Elixir to increase dots duration, which in result provides much more damage, as well as other well-known gems. When it comes to 2 stars, Viper and Pain class will be perfect, just like any gem with a damage bonus. When it comes to 5 stars, then Seeping Bile, Rilling Consequence, and Gloom Cask would be my choice. But of course this is not required, and I will quickly show you my configuration, which is basically with some adjustments my standard configuration for every build. But for this one particularly, I mainly focus on damage over time, its duration, and bonus damage. With all that being said, I hope that you enjoyed the video and it will be helpful. If so, then don't forget to hit a like button as well as subscribe to stay up to date. And as always, thanks for watching.